Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning and Assalamu alaikum to all my students who are here in the class. I warmly welcome you back to the class of science. This is your science teacher, Ms. Najera, and today we are back with another lecture that would be the revision lecture again. Okay, so let's get started. What comes in your mind when you look at this wallpaper in front of you? What comes in your mind that what kind of chapter we are going to start today or we are going to relearn today? What comes in your mind first when you look at this screen? Tell me the name of the chapter in the chat box. Yes, very good, Khizra, you are right. Very good, Hamna. Yes, which chapter we are going to start? What comes in your mind when you look at this screen? This background, what kind of message this background gives you? Very good. So the chapter which we are going to relearn today is safety and first aid. Yesterday we relearned our chapter um, investigating matter. Now we are supposed to relearn the chapter safety and first aid, which was the last chapter of our final term that we discussed in detail. So today, as you know that this is the review class, so we'll be having the quick review, right? So this chapter is basically the chapter number 5, and it is on page number 42 of your science book. So first of all, we will discuss about the title of this chapter, which is safety and first aid. So first we'll discuss about safety, then we'll go to the first aid, then we'll see that how different accidents happen and what kind of steps should be taken in different accidents or incidents or injuries. So I want someone to tell me that what is safety in your point of view. Is there anyone who can tell me that what is safety and what comes in your mind when you look at this word? Can you give me another word which is representing the meaning of this word? Yes, very good, Iraj. So another word which we can give to this word is prevention. Safety is the word that is indicating prevention. Prevention. Other than prevention, can we have some more words for the safety? What is that thing? It is safety, it is prevention, it is basically the defense. Acha, okay. To be alert. Very good, Iraj. To be alert. Yes. Safety means to be alert. To be careful. To be for the prevention and for the protection, we can use this word safety. To be careful. Very good. So you have told me the different words which give the meaning of this word safety. Now, what is safety we have discussed? So if we see our daily life, we'll be seeing that most of the accidents happen when we are not careful. So you told me the right answer that safety means to be to be careful, to be alert from getting injuries or accidents, because most of the accidents happen due to a lack of care or lack of responsibility, or we can say that when we are not careful. So we need to be alert. Now, here are some of the things on which we can discuss that how the accidents happen. Accidents can be happen on the roads. Accidents can be happen in the houses. Accidents can be happen in school, in banks, everywhere. So here comes some of the examples. In the first picture, you can see the medicines. We know that On each medicine or each bottle or the packet of the capsules, some instructions are written that keep it out of the reach of children, and keep it on the dry places, and don't keep it on the extremely hot places. These kind of instructions are written. If we do not pay attention to those instructions, medicines can be harmful for us. If we take medicines after its expiry date, so that would be dangerous to us. Plus, if the medicines are taken in excess amount, so this is very dangerous to the health of the person. So this is how we know that the medicines are basically something which is given to the patient for the sake of health, but sometimes it can be dangerous if we do not pay attention towards it properly. On another picture, you can see that a child is there who is just coming in the contact uh, with switch with plugs, so he can get the current. And this is a kind of, you can see that the people at home are not careful that what the child is doing. So sometimes the lack of care, the lack of responsibility cause the accidents at home. Another thing, a child is having a knife, which is a sharp thing that we use for cutting the vegetable and different things, right? So if we do not pay attention, and if children start playing with such kind of things, so they might get injured. The last one picture, you can see that the fire has been caused. Why this fire has been caused? This fire has been caused by the defective electrical gadget. Electrical gadgets are like the part of our lives that we use minute after minute. Now you are using your cell phones, you are using your hands free, you charge your cell phones with the mobile charger and different things, and all these things are basically the electrical gadgets, basically, right? So if that is defective, or we can take the example of refrigerator, we can take the example of toaster and different things that we use at our home. These are electrical gadgets, and if these gadgets are not checked time by time, and if there is a fault or defect in those gadgets, they can cause the fire. After safety, we must know the first aid. So, is there anyone who wants to tell me that what is first aid? Is there anyone? Iraj, what comes in your... Okay, Iraj, first you are supposed to read out the paragraph which is written in front of you. Then I want you to explain it a bit, if you can.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
First aid. First aid refers to the emergency or immediate care you should provide when a person is injured or ill until full medical treatment is available. For minor conditions, first aid care may be enough. For serious problems, first aid care should be continued until more advanced care becomes available.
Very good. Can you explain it a bit in your words? What comes in your mind when you just read this paragraph and when you read this word first aid? What is that basically?
Miss Miss, they are telling us that when any accident is there or anything, so we should, when we take our first step to save that person who is injured, that is called first aid.
Very nice, very good. The first step that is taken when the person is injured, it is really obvious that all the time doctors are not available and the nurses are not available. So we have to take some of the steps at our home before we reach to the doctor. So that first step is basically your first aid. Very good, Iraj. Very good, beta. Now mute yourself. Let's go ahead. Now here comes the fire and its preventions. There are a number of the causes number of the reasons due to which fire can be caused, right? So how the fire is caused and how should we prevent ourselves from that fire. Okay, so here comes some of the causes of the fire at home. So this is a paragraph taken from your book. I want someone to read out that paragraph, then we are going to discuss it. Is there anyone? Khizra, beta, I'm not gonna unmute you because your mic does not work properly, and that is why you can tell me the answer in the chat box. Yes, Malahim, I want you to read it out, and
Okay, miss.
I will be glad if you explain it a bit in your words.
Okay, miss. Fire and its prevention. Most fire in a house occur while working or while using a defective electrical gadget. It is important that all electrical gadgets are checked from time to time. If a crack or cut is noticed in the rubber covering of any wire, the wire should be replaced. Wires and electrical gadgets should never be allowed to get wet. Make sure that the gadget is switched off after use.
Very good. Now, beta, can you explain it a bit in your words? Try to
Um,
explain it. You can make mistake.
um,
Come on. Shabash Malahim, try to speak beta. What does it mean? Most of the fire in the house occur while working or while using a defective electrical gadget. Can you give me an example?
like my switch.
Okay, very good. The defective switches, very good. The next one point is it is important that all the electrical gadgets are checked from time to time. Why it is important to check all the gadgets time to time?
Because if a crack or cut is noticed in the rubber covering of any wire, the wire should be replaced.
Very good. It is basically what happens. The electrical gadgets are usually, I'm not saying all the time, usually they are having some of the wires. So we need to see that if the wires are naked, we need to replace the wires because the covering is very important. That is not for the decoration, that is having the safety purpose. Okay, so if we just touch the naked wire, we can get the current electrocution, that is called as electrocution, right? We can get the current, the person may die, the person may be injured, right? Wires and electrical gadgets should never be allowed to get wet. Why?
Yes, miss?
Wires and electrical gadgets should never be allowed to get wet. What does it mean?
Miss, that electrical gadgets
Hmm?
uh, will not allowed to get wet because when it will be wet, so
Very good. You're telling me the right statement. Try more.
it makes electric fusion.
Very good. It may cause electrocution. You must have noticed that whenever you are wet, your parents do not allow you to go to the switches because if the person or if the cloth or if the object is wet, that can get the electricity very easily. Right? Make sure that make sure that gadgets are switched off after use. After ironing the clothes, we should switch off the iron, right? It is very important. So these kind of things are there which can cause the accidents at our home. So let's talk about some other injuries. We are supposed to talk about some other injuries. This was all about the fire, right? Now, if you're having the minor wound, what would be your first step? For example, if you're playing and if you just fall down and you just get a simple cut on your hand, what kind of things you are supposed to do? Okay, Malahim, mute yourself. I want someone else to participate. I want someone else. Mars, unmute yourself.
Yes, miss. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Okay, beta Mars, tell me what will you do in such case if you are playing at your home and you just fall down, you get the minor wound. You do not need to go to doctor. So what kind of precaution, what kind of steps you would take?
First, we will call the ambulance and go to the doctor.
Sorry, speak up again and aloud.
We call the ambulance and go to the doctor.
Okay, see, the wound is minor. We do not need to go to the doctor. Okay, that is a simple wound that we can treat at home as well. So, how would we treat it? Would we just pour some of the sand over it? जख्म पे क्या हम मट्टी वगैरह
We will
डालेंगे?
bandage.
Yes, we will tie the bandage. Very good. But before tying the bandage, if the wound, so see, I have given you the condition. Okay, Mars, mute yourself. I have given you the condition that you're playing at your home, okay? That is not the burnt. That is the wound which you have got while playing. All right. So first you need to wash your wound. Why it is important to wash your wound? Because your wound your wound is not having the skin, right? Your skin is just ruptured from that particular area. You need to wash that particular area because the germs are there. Okay, so we need to wash the hand or the wound with soap or any antiseptic, which can be a Dettol and which can be any other thing as well. If we do not pay attention to the minor wounds, they can get serious, right? So if we do not pay attention, so minor wounds can be just we can get the infection, and then it would be out of our control. Then we cannot treat it at our home. Then we need to go to the doctor. So it would be very good if you just take the first step properly. What should be your first step? Your first aid should be washing that wound and applying that antiseptic. If you're having a kind of wound and you're bleeding, for example, your knee or your hand is bleeding, what do you need to do to just make it stop, make your blood stop from bleeding or flowing? So you need to just place an iron pack on the wounded area. This will help to constrict blood vessels. The rubbing of this ice pack on the wounded area would cause your blood to be frozen over here. Your blood would freeze here, and there would be no more flow of the blood. There would be no more loss of the blood, right? And in the case of minor wounds, we can apply the bandage or the sunny plast as well. Now, here comes another example. There is a disease called as tetanus, and we get the injection for that. In what condition we get that injection? Can you please tell me this scenario? Can anybody please tell me what is tetanus? Taha, can you please tell me about it? Taha, can you please tell me about it? What is tetanus and how can we treat it? Ayan Hussain. Amna Hasham.
जी miss.
Okay, beta, can you please tell me about this disease or what do you know about it? How can we, in what injury we get the injection of tetanus? Can you please tell me something about it? Can you please tell me, Amna?
Well, I can't hear you. What are you saying?
But I'm saying that we here we are discussing about different conditions, different injuries, right? Previously, we saw that how we should treat the minor wounds. Now here comes another kind of wound, uh, like tetanus is a disease, right? So how do we get it, and what should we do to prevent ourselves from this disease?
It's from injections.
Okay, okay, mute yourself. Okay, Raj, I'm giving you the access. Just wait. Yes, Raj. You want to say something?
Yeah, miss, I want to tell the answer.
Okay, tell me.
Miss, the tetanus is the disease in which when we even have such a small cut, it keep blooding and blooding. It doesn't stop. That's why we have to take injections of tetanus.
Okay, very good. Hamna has given me the answer in the chat box. It is a kind of disease and it can be treated by the tetanus injection. Okay, good. So let's make it easy. In what condition we should get it? For example, if we are playing at our home and if we fall down, if we get cuts, if we get injuries, minor injuries, okay, we do not need to the doctor. But if you fall down on the roads in the streets where there is the possibility of having there would be more germs than your home, right? So there is a germ or there is a bacteria named as tetanus bacillus, right? To prevent yourself from that bacteria which can cause this disease, you should go to the doctor even in the minor wound. If you fall down on the streets, you get the minor wound, but because it is the road or the street, you may get this bacteria which is named as tetanus bacillus. You need to prevent yourself from this disease. Normally it should be treated in 24 hours, so we are supposed to go to the doctors within 24 hours. We need to get the injection of tetanus within 24 hours. Okay, it does not mean that it is not important that all the wounds can lead the tetanus. No, some of the wounds, in case if we get this one bacteria, right? Okay, there is another disease named as rabies. Can anybody please tell me about that? This is simple. I think many of the students are familiar with this disease. So, is there anyone who wants to tell me about this? Okay, Maham has raised her hand. Yes, Maham?
मिस ये एक रेबीज वाला डॉग जो होते हैं ना वो जो काटते हैं डॉग
Hmm?
हाँ तो वो वाला ये जाम
ये वो वाला है. अच्छा, अच्छा. Very good. How sweet. Beta, please try to speak in English. Can you please try to speak English? Uh-huh.
मिस ये एक वायरस है जो
Hmm.
हाथों में डॉग खा लेता है तो वो ये जम होता है
Okay. Okay. I have got your answer. Okay, you're right. Thank you so much, Beta. You have given me the right answer. Very good. Um, yes, your way was really innocent, so that is why I could not stop laughing. So yes, she's right that rabies is a kind of disease which is caused by the dog bite usually, but apart from the dog we can take other example as monkeys and different animals can also cause the rabies, but that depends not on the dog. Basically, rabies is the virus. Rabies is the virus which that lives in the saliva of dog, saliva of monkey, saliva of different animals. So when they bite us, so we get their saliva come in contact with our skin, okay, and it can go, it can cross the our skin, and then it can cause the rabies, which is a dangerous disease. So in such case, there is a proper medication which we need to follow in such case, right? So rabies is a disease which is caused by the dog bite and different animal bite, and we need to go to the doctor. We need to get the injections, right? The bandage at home is not enough for that. Okay, so here comes the paragraph from your book. A bite of a poisonous snake, such as cobra and crate. Crate is also the name of the like species of the snake or category of the snake, which can cause the death. A tight bandage above the wound, between the wound and the heart, slows down the spread of the poison by reducing blood flow towards the wound. To the patient should be taken then to taken to the doctor, or should be rushed to the doctor. It means you need to reach the doctor as soon as possible. You cannot delay in such case. You cannot delay in these kind of accidents, which are very very serious. So here we are talking about, after the tetanus and rabies, here we are talking about the snake bite, right? Usually the cobra and crate. These are the death causing snakes. Their poison is so harmful. So what we need to do, of course, when the doctor is not available all the time, so the first step, the first ad we should take is to tie the tight bandage just above the wound. Usually, I told you in the class that usually the snake bites on the lower body of the human beings, like leg, right? So what we need to do, we need to tie the bandage, or if we are having the piece of cloth, we can tie it. We'll tie from the position between the heart and that wound, right? So in such case, what would be happening, the spreading of the spread of the poison would be reduced. Why we need to stop that poisoned blood to go to the heart? Because we know that heart pumps the blood and gives to the entire body. So if heart pumps that poisoned blood, the poison blood can be spread out in our body. It can go throughout the body and it can cause the immediate death. So in such case, we need to rush to the doctor. Now this is how you can see that the bandage, or the you can see that this is a snake bite. Now you need to just 2 to 3 inches above the bite. You need to do it in the hurry. You need to do it immediately after the bite, okay? So above 2 to 3 or 4 to 5 inches above that bite, you need to tie the bandage. What this bandage is doing, this bandage is just slowing down the speed of spread of that poisoned blood, which is in the which is in that portion on which the snake has bite bitten, right? So this is how we can treat this situation. Now here comes the sprain. We are more familiar with the fractured bone and the broken bone, but you might not have heard this word sprain. Sprain is basically the swelling of the joints. Sprain is swelling of the joint. So when the people are suffering from the joint pain, so what happens, usually their joint swells up, their joint swells up, which can cause the pain, right? So this condition is called as sprain. Now there must be difference, you must know the difference between broken bone and fractured bone. This bone is fractured, this one, the second one, the first one and the second one, this is fractured, right? Because this is not completely broken. So if the person is having the fractured bone or the broken bone, the doctor never recommends him or her to move the hand or that particular area where bone is broken, right? For example, if we are having the muscles pain, doctor recommends us for the physiotherapy or for the exercises. But that is the case of muscles. Here, the case is about bones. So, in case of the bones which is fractured or broken, the person can feel the uh, intensive pain when he or she tries to move that area or that bone. So this is how we need to treat our broken bone. We should not move that hand or the leg where bone is broken. The patient is recommended for the rest. Now here are some of the important lines, and I want someone to read it out. I want someone to read it out, beta. Come on. Ayan Hussain, I want you to read out.
इस आपने मुझे अनम्यूट किया
अच्छा, तो फिर आप ही पढ़ लें. अच्छा, Ayan can be. Yes, Ayan, beta.
most accidents
Honey, mute yourself, beta.
Most accidents can be prevented if we are
Ayan, beta, speak aloud.
most of the accident can be most of
Hmm.
accident can be prevented if we are more careful. To put a fire cut off the